Hello guys, how you guys doing today? So for today's episode, basically, talking about mobile tech and all that good stuff, we're going to be talking about a few things. But let me start off with the one that I think is the most interesting one, which is Blackberry and a new slide QWERTY candy bar style smartphone that is going to be released pretty soon. Now, if I have to say anything about the device after reading the article about it and seeing a couple of pictures of what the device is, what it looks like, I'm not going to say what it could look like because apparently those are official photos. It kind of reminds me of the Blackberry Torch, if you guys remember that from a couple of years ago, but with a bigger screen. So the screen size, I'm guesstimating because they didn't talk too much about the specs, but I'll probably find an article for you guys to read and link it in the description so you guys can see what specs it has. But from what I read, it didn't talk about specs, but the screen size looks to be anywhere between 5-inch to 5.5 inch. So I'm not too sure exactly how big the phone is. But I'll find you a credible source for you guys to read up and check it out. If you guys are interested in Blackberry, and you really have to give it up to Blackberry of holding on. That pinky that's holding on to that thread of remaining relevant is super strong with a company like that. So you've got to admire them for how strong they're trying to hold on. Even when most people would say, Blackberry should just die off already. It's great that they're still kind of holding on. I know most of businesses that used to rely on Blackberry for service have either moved over to iOS or Android. But who knows? I mean, sometimes, a company has to basically be at the bottom of the barrel before it can rise back up and become even better than what it was before. And although I'm not a big fan of Blackberry and the Blackberry OS 10 or whatever, I like I said, I have a lot of admiration for the company that it can survive this long. So big ups to Blackberry, and hopefully that this device would be the turnaround device for them. Also, just since we're talking about Blackberry, it is rumored that that people are hoping that Amazon buys Blackberry. Now, I don't know why they would want to do this or what benefit it would really give to Amazon, unless Amazon has an idea to turn it around, because when you think of Amazon, you think of the Fire Phone. That didn't do too very well. The Fire Phone really flopped. So, I mean, yeah, we've had some problems there. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing, which is basically the competition for the summer between Boost Mobile and Metro PCS. And people kind of making a big deal about it, but I really kind of saw this coming already as, Metro is T-Mobile and Boost Mobile is Sprint. And we already know that Sprint and T-Mobile battled it out for the number 3 spot between 4 carriers. And, of course, Sprint, like I said, they kept the number 3 spot, but they sacrificed a lot of money doing so, which could possibly hurt the company later on this year. Metro PCS being with T-Mobile, T-Mobile being dead last. So, yeah, of course, their MVNOs are going to kind of battle it out for subscribers this summer with huge summer deals. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But basically, just to kind of compare the two for those who don't know, Metro PCS has gone all GSM, or they're about to go all GSM, which is a network that T-Mobile uses. But that is going to be their mainstay. And Boost Mobile uses CDMA technology, which is what Sprint relies on, and as well as Verizon. So, I mean, it just really what it boils down to is just how much you're willing to spend and which network you find to be more reliable in your area, whether CDMA is a stronger signal or GSM is. It really depends. So what I suggest to most people who look to get a new smartphone or are switching over to prepaid companies is really kind of like do your research in your general area to see which one has the stronger signal. And, if you see people in town, don't be afraid to spark a conversation. If you've noticed that they're on Metro PCS or if they're on Cricket or if they're on Boost Mobile, go ahead and ask them, how well their device functions in your town. I mean, some people are willing to actually talk to you about it, and you'll be able to get a better understanding of how well a certain service works in your town, so then that way you get the best service possible. To kind of close it out, Boost Mobile is going to be having a deal starting this weekend, or I believe it started already, running all the way until July 5th. And basically, if you're on Cricket or if you're on Metro PCS or any other company, excluding Virgin Mobile, so non-Sprint companies, if you port your number over to Boost Mobile, you basically you could get a free phone and select one of the plans that they have, the double data plans. And I believe some of the free phones they're offering, if you port your number over, is the Moto E, the LG Vault, the ZTE Warp Sync, ZTE Boost Max, and I want to say the iPhone 5S refurbished and the iPhone 5C refurbished, and I think there's another one, but I can't remember it. But yeah, so if you're actually wanting to switch over to Boost Mobile and you want to grab one of those really cool phones for free, port your number over, and you're good to go. If you're on Virgin Mobile, you can't do it because you're still under Sprint from Virgin Mobile. So Virgin Mobile customers can't do this. And if I could make a suggestion for a device to get as a free phone when you port your number over to Boost Mobile, I would suggest the Moto E 2015 or the second generation Moto E, or the ZTE Warp Sync or the LG Vault. Those three, I would definitely recommend Android side. You don't really have a lot of options if you're looking for an iPhone. Basically, it's the 5C and the 5S, and obviously, I would say go with the 5S since it has a better build quality. So, pretty much that's it, guys. So, if you guys have anything you guys want to say about any of the stuff, leave your comments in the comment section of this video. And, yeah, thank you for tuning in.